Children, let us understand the poem, the last poem of your book. We are the music makers. It is written by Arthur William O'Shaughnessy. He was a British poet. Though he worked as a herpetologist in a zoological department of the museum, his true passion was literature. Herpetologist means a zoologist who studies about amphibians and reptiles. Though he had his education, special studies on amphibians and reptiles, he had a passion for literature and he wrote many poems. This poem is an ode. What is a ode? An ode is a poem in which a person expresses or a poet expresses a strong feeling of love or respect for someone or something. A strong feeling of love or respect, that means a tribute to someone. Here, this poem has the title Ode, but because of the first line of the poem, it is famous as We Are the Music Makers. And this ode, that is a tribute, is written by Arthur to all the artists. Tribute to all the artists, poets, writers, painters, and musicians, all kind of artists. It is a tribute written by Arthur William to all the artists. And who the musicians are, the artists, who are the people shape the world according to him. So here the poet is giving respect or showing and expressing his love to all the artists. Let's go to the poem. It's in page number 32. We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world forsakers, upon whom the pale moon gleams, yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems. So, in the first stanza, Arthur explains, it seems to the people of the world that we are the dreamers of dream. That means people in the sight of the people, it seems to the world we are the dreamers of dreams. So the first line, we, first person, including him, he says, he talks about all the artists of the world. We refers to all the artists of the world are the music makers. We create, we are the makers of the music, and we are the dreamers of dream. To the people perceive us as the dreamers of dream, despite being perceived by the people that we are the dreamers of dream. Always think or dream in a lonely place. We are seen as the dreamers, spending time lonely, wandering, alone. People look the music makers and the artist down like that. They are like losing everything. Yes, it is true. To make something, they have to sacrifice, and they have to spend their time in a lonely place and keep themselves aloof to have the deep thought, to develop their thought. They'll keep themselves away from the society. So we are called as the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers. So if they are like sea breakers, that means what is called sea breakers, the high wave, the sea waves which form moves towards the seashore and break and go back like that. So we are the sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams. Most of the artists will spend their time alone and sitting by desolate streams. Loneliness. Desolate means loneliness. In the side of the streams, river bank or seashore or any lonely place. So they separate themselves from the society. That is the sacrifice, keeping their enjoyment away from themselves. That is sacrifice the artist do to make others happy. And they are considered or they are misunderstood and ignored by the people. They think, people think the artists are world losers and world forsakers. Give up everything. They give up everything, all the luxuries and pleasure of the world. They give up and spend their time in a lonely place. And they are viewed like that. The people viewed them as a madman or lunatic. So, upon whom the pale moon gleams, here the moonlight, dull, shining, very dull light, pale light upon them. So, everyone have a low look upon the artist. So, this is the condition of the artist among the society. But the poet says he praises the work of the artist. Yet, all these, the above mentioned things are the view of the people, yet we are the movers and shakers. To the people, we look like a dull, lonely, desolate people who keep themselves desolate from others, and like everyone look at the artist as a mad people. But yet, though despite being misunderstood and ignored by the people, we are the movers and shakers. We are very active and we do great things. So artists do great things of the world forever. So for the eternal things they make for the world. So they are the dreamers of dreams, but having an active role to shape the age they live in, world forever. Whichever the age they live in, they make that age as active. That means make it live by doing their artistic work, whether it can be painting or writing poems, or writers of other poetry or prose or drama, and creating music, anyone, any kind of artist. What they do? They are the dreamers of dreams. They dream the future and they play an active role to shape the age they live in. So, in the first stanza, the Arthur William praises the artist or the people who are the people who make the age in which they live as a eternal thing. So forever they make the shape, they give shape to the age forever. So he praises the people despite being perceived in a wrong view by the people, but they are the makers of the world. In the second stanza, with wonderful deathless deities, we build up the world's great cities, and out of a fabulous story, we fashion on empire's glory. One man with a dream at pleasure shall go forth and conquer a crown, and three with a new song's measure can trample an empire down. So, in the second stanza, Arthur emphasizes the timelessness of the art and subversive nature of the art. Above all, the art is the best. What he says? With wonderful deathless deities, short deities means short, simple songs which they write. It tells about the past, and we build up the world's great cities. By our writings, we can build the cities, though the cities are not before us, but the words they have written or the painting they have done is remain, and it tells us about the past and the cities. They can create a big cities, great cities, and through their stories they can make a fabulous story to tell about the past. So we know many things which were there on this earth through the writings, through the paintings, through the artist. We fashion on empire's glory. We never knew about the empire, empress, and the empire which was there. We never seen, but through the artist we can know the glory of the empire or the emperors. Empire's glory. Any emperor's glory we can come to know through the artist. One man with a dream and pleasure, he shall go forth and conquer a crown. So they can lead the people to conquer the world through their work. And three with the new songs measures can trample an empire down. So the decline of the empire and the glory of the empire, both they can bring it out through their writings. The third stanza, he gives the historical role of artist. First stanza, he praises the artist despite being misunderstood and ignored by the people. We are the movers and shakers. So he praises the artist. In the second stanza, he emphasizes the timelessness of the art. And in the third stanza, the historical role of artist. So the different role of artist in different stanzas. We, in the ages lying, we, again he is mentioning all the artists of the world. In the ages lying in the buried past of the earth, history. They give the history. And here he says that the divine power of the people. So he gives two references from the Bible, and which shows that the divine power of the artist. What he wants to say here? In the buried past of the earth, built Nineveh with our sighing, and Babel itself with our mirth, and overthrew them with prophesying to the old of the new world's worth. For each age is a dream that is dying, or one that is coming to birth. Two places are mentioned here, two names are mentioned here. Nineveh, built Nineveh. What is Nineveh? Nineveh is an ancient city in Assyria, and in the Bible it has been written, it was ancient city, it is in BC, and it was destroyed. And how it was destroyed, everything is through the words. Now, Babel itself with our mirth, and other ruin, mirth, and Babel was a tower built by people of that time. They got together and they were building the tower and reaching the high, thinking that they can compete with God, and with their oneness they were keep building high and high and high. But God sent a confusion among the people, and thus they were speaking many languages. Because of that, they could not continue their building the tower, and it was destroyed. And here, these two things, Babel itself with our mirth, laughter, it was written as everything is mentioned, and it is, though it is not there on this earth, but because of the words of the artist, still remains. It is destroyed. There is no concrete thing, but because of the words, still it remains. To the old of the new world's worth, for each age is a dream that is dying. So the dying world, and they can prophesy what is going to happen. So prophesying is a divine knowledge, predicting something which is going to happen in the future. That also they can do in their writings. So the artists are the people who can make a historical record through their paintings or music or by writings. So the significant role in shaping the past, present and future of the world. So it is the most uplifting and hopeful poem about the art that has ever been written. So this is a poem which tells about the artist of the world.